we've got these people everywhere. Every time we find one of these,
and they're always the clownish, cartoonish, like, you know,
yeah,
let's carry a bazooka out in the middle of the parade, and if you don't carry your bazooka and wear your Klan guard out in the middle of the parade, you're a pussy.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? Like that's your informants right there and your provocateurs.
Totally. Yeah. They're like, hey, take this KK flag and go walk over there by those Proud Boy guys. You know, otherwise you're a pussy. And then they've got another plainclothes Fed over there to take a picture of it.
And they're always the ones calling everybody else Feds too.
Right.
That's an easy markers here is that they're cartoonish, they're over the top, they call everybody else Feds, and they are unhinged, and they're protected, so they can say all kinds of crazy shit and they never get in trouble.
Right, and the same thing happens on the other side. You know, like that. There was a picture being floated around of Antifa people holding a banner that said like "We stand with" or pedo rights or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, as much as I want to rag on them and say that they probably would do that, I mean, it looks from all the bigger digging that they were kind of duped into holding that, you know, and then here, hold this real quick. Here, hold this banner real quick, you know, and someone's there with dummies. But I mean, the same thing happens to the Proud Boys. They get, you know, Nazi guys with Nazi flags walking into the group. Yeah. They get their photos taken, and, you know, props to the Proud Boys for saying, hey, get the fuck out of here. We don't want you guys. You know, you're not part of us. Even props to Antifa probably for saying, hey, that's not our sign, you know, throw that down. But it's like the damage is done. The pictures are taken. They're tweeted out. Everybody's outraged on either side, and it's all provoked.
Yeah.
It's all part of keeping the hype.
It's part of both sides. Yeah, exactly. It's part of keeping the media environment nice and divisive, and keeping people feeling like they need to be on one side or the other. It just seems impossible to them to think that, you know, who should I put names on it? Our intelligence services, our police forces, our military aspects of our military, perhaps, corporate agencies and foundations and think tanks and all these types of agencies are contributing to this. Like, that's just too much for some people to accept.
But here's the thing. I mean, it's not the thing, but in my opinion, all this distraction that you're talking about, you know, like all these people getting just so upset about one side, or the alt-right are so upset about the Antifa. It's like, and people aren't looking at the big picture here, where there are a certain core number of people that are working together to keep the general population pharmaceuticaled up, eating rotten crap shit. Like, it's not even food, the food that people are that are eating these days. And what people are being taught in their educational systems is garbage, in addition to everything that they're being fed through their media, their propaganda, their Hollywood, everywhere like that. That's what people should be pissed about. It's not this bull honk that is working, you know. I mean, this sort of stuff is so divisive. Like, you know, having a huge number of our population that really, everything that they hate about Trump is that he's a racist, a misogynist, and a sexist. It's like they don't have any deep level of thought because they have been so brainwashed.
And to be fair, same when Obama was president, and many people on the right felt like, you know, the only things that mattered were that, you know, he's a Muslim, or he's, you know, right, he's not an American, or, you know what I mean? It's like both, although the media didn't back it, so it was very different, you know. When the left is in charge, the mainstream media doesn't back all of the conspiracy theories, so things are very wonky and different now, because the balance of power is so strained, because the mainstream media is just, you know, full on. But I mean, it goes both ways, and I think it sets up this fake concern that if you're a real patriot, you need to be concerned about commies, and that if you're a real leftist, you need to be concerned about Nazis. When really, you know, the the provocateurs, those that control and make the planning for the provocateurs, are the ones that are creating small pockets of wannabe Nazis, LARPer Nazis, wannabe KKKs, wannabe extremist Muslims, wannabe Antifa leftist
it's the
shitbirds.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the huge feminism thing, where it's like all this girl power, badass women power, all this stuff. Like, we don't want to be paid less, all this stuff. Like, listen, we're all fucking slaves here. Like, and just it being like, oh, it's all the man's fault. It's like...
Crush the patriarchy.
This totally takes away from the fact that there are people actually controlling this entire system that is stealing half of what we make in tax dollars and funding wars we don't support.
Yeah, and our point is many of the people that are looked up to, that are put on pedestals or demonized in all of said groups, the fringe groups we're talking about, are useful idiots, dupes, shills, and agent provocateurs.
Yep.